Having faith is one of the hardest things to do in life. Roadblocks come, someone passes away, you might lose your job. List goes on and on and on. But what do you do when this all happens? Do you let fear and doubt overcome you? Fear shows up a lot in the Bible, and according to a professor at Campbell University, fear and faith in trusting God in a fear-filled world is the hardest of all these accomplishments. I need my child. I'm going to have them do the trust fall, which is kind of an example of faith. Uh-oh.
And then Jonah.
No.
No, Jonah.
You're supposed to go up.
Okay, so them three had faith that their brother would catch them and not let them fall on the floor. It's important for everyone to allow God to have his way with the issues of everyday life and have faith and not fear in this fear-filled world that we live in, where everyone is always uptight, we're always walking on eggshells, and they're always afraid to offend somebody. I want every single one of you to just once, sometime allow yourself to be free and let faith and trust guide you through your life. When you do, wait and watch what great things will come from it and that lie ahead for you. I'm going to begin by talking about what steps to take and how to just allow yourself to be free and let faith guide you. Recently in my life, my faith has been challenged. We have had over the past month and a half, a lot of vehicle troubles. About 3 weeks ago, we had our brakes almost completely go out. I have 5 wonderful children, and brakes going out is definitely a big deal. It can cause any kind of an accident or anything. I didn't know what we were going to do. I thought we were going to have to just get rid of the vehicle and not have a car, which means my husband wouldn't be able to get to work. I wouldn't be able to get to school. Kids wouldn't be able to get to dance or to baseball or anything else they need to get to. I really didn't know what I was going to do. God came through, and through faith, I had faith that God would provide, and I had faith that somehow, some way, everything would work out. And through faith, God provided someone from our church to buy the rotor and the brake pads, and it even had gotten to our caliper. And God also provided someone to come and fix our brakes from the church as well. About a week and a half ago, we had where our car kept needing to be jumped. Eventually, our car just decided we went out to leave to go to a church event, and our car wouldn't start. We had nothing, and go to find out it was our alternator and our battery. Again, I had said, okay, you've provided so far. And again, someone from our church bought a new alternator, and the same people came out and put the new alternator and battery in. So it's definitely through faith. We have been without air condition for a good 9 or 10 months now, and we didn't know what was wrong. A family friend came who's very good with ACs, came and looked at our car, came to our church and looked at the car, and actually said all it needed was Freon, and the Freon needed to be charged. And we now have working AC, and trust me, AC in the middle of the summer in the state of Florida, not having it is horrible, especially when you got a 3-month-old who, it's really bad in a van. The poor kids were always in the back saying, Mom, it's hot. So AC was definitely a huge blessing. Not always a necessity, but a huge blessing. Now that you've heard about one way that I didn't give up and how I had faith in God that God would provide, and I trusted that things were going to get better, eventually by God's grace, everything is starting to take shape again. with our car. The car is almost like a brand new car. The truthful importance of faith dates to the beginning of time. And there are many biblical references in the Bible that states different stories of faith and how having faith overcomes fear. According to Alicia D. Myers, a professor at Campbell University, the word fear shows up in the Bible 303 times. Even more, the word afraid shows up in the Bible 189 times. According to the American Journal of Theology, faith has many, many different levels. Faith can be as strong or as light as you want it to be, as strong or as light as your belief is. It is said that our trust and belief can strengthen faith to a point that it can be very strong and very powerful, as any normal strength on earth can be, or any abnormal strength can be. Faith dates to the beginning of time, and throughout history has been a constant battle for many people, both Christian and non-Christian, because even non-Christians can have faith. No matter what belief or how spiritually led you are, we all suffer and we all have hard times allowing our faith to be tested in our lives. Even though many people may argue or just plain out not go to church or don't even believe in God, everyone practices having faith in their own way. And they also even have trust in something or someone in their lives. Without faith, we would all be filled with fear. We would all be scared. We would live in fear and we would live in terror, which we all know is not the case. The Bible says that we should not live our life in fear. Fear is the number one reason on this earth to have faith and trust in God. It is just human nature to be afraid of things in life. We're all human. We're not perfect. The Bible mentions in Psalms 27:1, if God alone is God, whom shall we fear? The answer is easy. We shouldn't fear anybody because God is God. And we all have faith that He is there. With God in our faith and belief in Him, all things will always be handled. May not be the way we want it or the way we expect it, but God will always provide. And fear shouldn't be in our lives. It shouldn't be in our minds if we have faith in God. This is the hardest concept for non-believers to grasp, but even the most highly Bible scholar at times can struggle with faith. That's what makes faith so vitally important in our lives, for churchgoers and non-churchgoers. After hearing all this information I have provided you, I hope that you can come to the realization that faith is very, very important in everyday life. I have covered the importance of faith and not living your life in fear. Most of all, I am not pushing religion on anyone. Faith is a lot more than just religion. It's an everyday practice that Christians and non-Christians both do. Once again, I want everyone to try to walk more in faith with what you do in your everyday life. Every day, we have faith that we wake up in the morning, our car will start, we'll be able to get to school or to work or home from work or home from school. We wake up knowing that we're not 6 feet under, so we are able to wake up. Most of all, we have faith that when we are sick, we will be healed. There have been many hard things in my life that I had to dig deep to find faith and believe that God will provide for me. And I had to put all my faith that He will take care of me. I challenge you to do the same. Will you accept the challenge? Thank you, and keep walking in faith.